What's happening, what's happening, what's happening? Of course, you know it's your folk, B-Hot Radio shouting. Hey, man, I got a super producer / artist stepping off in this thing. Reazy Renegade, what's good with it, boss?
What they do, brother?
Man, feeling good, feeling great. Now, I mean, Reazy, first of all, I had a chance to go over your production credits, and I realized you made all of my favorite songs, sir.
Appreciate
Okay,
that.
so I was like, okay, this man's getting busy out here.
Yeah.
What I need you to do for me, Reazy, is take me to day one when you realized that you wanted to get into this music industry. What was it that made you come in? Did you already know that you wanted to rap, or did you start to produce off the rip?
So I started as like a classically trained musician. So
Okay.
in college, I'm in, we fast forward to college, I'm in the orchestra, and I'm sitting in the orchestra and I'm playing a concert, and I'm like, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. I don't want to just be performing this instrument. Yeah. So, you know, I was always making beats, but I didn't know like how to get it to people.
Yeah.
So I'm in my dorm room making beats, and I see like Gucci Mane, he say, producers send me beats, so I put the joint on. I was like, oh, you could do that? Yeah. So then I sent it off, and then like a couple hours later, I get an email back like, yo, I'm gonna use this beat. So then I was like, dang. He's like, I'm gonna send you 200 or something. He said something $200, $300 at that point. And I was like, shit, you gonna pay me too? All right. So then after that, like it was addicting.
Yeah.
Kept going. Working with a lot of local artists. A lot of them were signed to DJ Khaled. So Khaled started saying, oh, who is this producer?
Making
at this point,
hits.
I'm in a group too. So he's like, who's these producers cooking up for y'all? Who's making these beats? And then they was like, oh, it's the Renegades. It's them. So I get a call from Khaled. He's like, yo, this DJ Khaled. I want to make you We the Best. I think somebody playing. I'm like, who is this? That? I'm like, dang. So he said, I went to the studio.
Yeah.
And then he was like, play me some beats. Played him some beats. And one of the beats he took ended up being Welcome to My Hood.
My God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm with you. So, I mean, you get over there with Khaled. Now, Khaled gets busy, okay? So, what was it like being around that team and then also knowing that your music was going to get heard worldwide?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was like more of just a drive. Like, just to see that level of music at that point, you know, I'm still new. I'm seeing this. I'm learning that you got to, like, always go over the top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, just with that, learning all that, being in We the Best for 6 years and stuff, I took that all with me. Like, everything got to be over the top. So,
what was those studio sessions like, though, at the same breath?
Long, dramatic, like, just, you know, mentally, you know, beatings. But this is stuff you need to have to be, you know, to mold yourself into, like, the best musician you could be. So it's around like, oh, we trying to leave. Like, oh, y'all tired already? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm staying here. You made it put that feeling in your chest, like, oh, nah, I need to stay here too.
My God.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
That's so to this day, I try to be like the last person in the room left.
I
Like,
feel you.
feel me?
I mean, those studio sessions and stuff like that, what were those moments like for you coming from being a classically trained, you know, musician to being in the world of hip hop with folks going crazy and acting a fool?
Yeah, it was different, but I grasped on quick just with them. You know what I'm saying? Caught the vibes too.
Yeah.
Worked with some huge artists from the jump. Like, a lot of producers gotta really, like, they work themselves to do that. But I was like thrown in the water from the beginning.
Who was the biggest artist that you worked with off top, and what was that whole thing like?
It's like within the first months, it was a lot of big artists. It was from Jeezy to Gucci again, to Lil Boozy, to French Montana, Ace Hood, Kanye West, Birdman, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross. It was all of those people.
It was everybody.
I remember Kanye calling Khaled like, yo, I need the hardest drums in the city. This is in Miami.
My God.
So and I'm working with Birdman at this time, and then I get a Khaled's like, yo, you going to Kanye at 6 in the morning, and it's already 3 in the morning. So I'm like, damn, like, what we going? What's going on? So then spent 11 hours with Kanye again the next day, and it was like I said, it was just being thrown in like to that point.
Working with Kanye though, man, because you know he's a genius. So I mean, what was that whole vibe like?
that vibe was crazy.
Yeah.
So we was working on beats. We was working on beats for Carter 4 for Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
This is the craziest thing too now. So we finished the beats and Kanye go, all right, I'm calling Wayne. He come in here and listen to the beats. So Lil Wayne come in, you know, Mac Main come in. You know, we start playing the beats. He's like, yeah, I fuck with these. This is it. And then Kanye like, all right, let me play you my single. So then he plays Ham, the song Ham.
I know
Jay-Z.
what you talking about.
Yeah. And then Jay-Z heard the line, Lil Wayne heard the line, Jay-Z say, talking about my lady money, you ain't got my baby money. You know, talking about baby money, you ain't got my lady money, talking about, you know, Birdman.
Yeah.
And Lil Wayne being the go here, he caught it quick. He was like, gentlemen, and he got up and he walked out the whole session.
What?
And that was like an experience where I was like, did that just happen? Like, did I just see like this beef spark from the jump? Like, and that was when Kanye was supposed to executive produce the whole Carter 4. Remember, that just got thrown out the window after that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that joke was crazy.
Being right there and seeing that with your own eye, Reazy, what did that do to you? Did you say, okay, I need to watch everything from here on out?
Yeah. From now on, I was like, yo, you know, it's like, I didn't know, like, you know, I thought music is just an entity of music. I didn't know it rubbed people that hard
yeah.
where, like, they'll stop the whole production of their album because of one line. That was misinterpreted and figured out at the end that it was misinterpreted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I thought it was a little drastic, but hey, that's the artist.
That's
you
the
know?
game.
That's the game. Yeah.
I mean, working with Wayne though, man, what was that whole tenure like over there with them?
It was always love. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they accepted us because of Khaled. You know what I'm saying? Like, Khaled was deep with them. So when he saw Khaled doing what he was doing for us, it was like, oh yeah, come over here, work with this person, work with Tyga, work with Wayne. We was working with the whole YMCMB.
Yeah.
Working with Baby. And that was just, it was just like that. It's like the circle in Miami was, at that point, it was YMCMB, MMG, and We the Best. So we was circulating through that every week.
That was a real time right there.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about, you know, the Young Money campaign, you had a lot of stars, and then you were there for the beginning of a lot of that stuff as well, man. So, I mean, what was it like seeing that bubble and then seeing it transition to what it finally became?
It's like, it's unrealistic in my head still. It's hard to believe to see like, oh, Nicki and the Drake in the club. I see them regular.
Yeah.
I saw from the start, and then see them how huge they are now, and how, you know what I'm saying, like, that is like an amazing thing just to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Not even directly, but just to be, you know, in that moment when all that stuff was happening. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What does that do to your mind, though, too? Because when you're thinking, wait a minute, I knew Nicki and Drake when they was just two regular folks in the club, and now they are icons running around here. What do you think it was about them that allowed them to reach those plateaus,
It's
man?
definitely the consistency of their work ethic, of all those artists that you saw blow up. The work ethic was, like I said, over the top. As people in the studio working, always want to work with new people, new producers, new artists. They always doing that. And you could see the artists that kind of fell behind and didn't do it, wasn't on that. They was in the club, they was partying, they was soaking up the fame instead of putting in the work to it. So you could see that kind of puts that in your head as me even being an artist and a producer, like what path I wanted to go. Yeah, you could do that, but work hard now, and that's just comes automatically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As a solo producer, though, man, I mean, you were doing your thing out here in the street, still is. You had a viral sensation that just kind of took the world by storm with K-Camp, man. That Renegade. Break that banger down to me, because that was one of those songs that when I first heard it, I knew it was a smash hit. K-Camp is one of my favorite artists out of the A anyway. That track says, hey, man, crank this bitch up. How did that song come about? And then when that thing went viral, what was going through your mind then?
So I remember at this point I lived in New York.
Okay.
And me and K-Camp are very close. So I was on his starting projects. I produced for him, you know, just, you know, growing as a producer artist. And he was like, yeah, let's cook up. We always could try to cook up.
Yeah.
Just this time it was a little different. We went to We started in Warner's studio. I was just playing beats. This was a vibe. We wasn't going for anything serious. Just and that beat came on. And he's like, oh, go back. I'm like, nah, that's not finished. I'm like, it ain't finished yet. He like, why? Why it's not finished? I'm like, I gotta put something else on it.
Yeah.
It's the beat you hear now is the same beat that I played.
Oh,
I didn't get a
God.
chance to put nothing on it. He said, nah, let me do something. So we loaded it up.
Yeah.
And we just started that go. He just started saying that, and we was like, oh, we was like, damn, that's it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he finished. He did a first verse, and then we had to wrap up. Then we went back to Alicia Keys' studio the next day, and that's when he laid the hook. Cash on me like I hit the lottery. And when he did that, we was like, it's just like you say when the first time we heard it.
Yeah.
We knew. We didn't know it was gonna do what it did, though, but we
Yeah.
knew that it was something. Okay, and then song going crazy. You know, was doing this little music thing, like how and then I remember in Thanksgiving, my little cousin, was like, "Oh, you seen the Renegade dance?" I was like, "The what?" The Renegade dance, and then I was like, "Oh nah, let me see. I'm gonna have to sue these people. They taking my thing." So I look it up on Google, and I'm like, "Wait, that's my song.
That's
me."
Exactly.
Yeah. And they're doing the dance, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I hit K-Cam, I'm like, yo, you see this, bro?
Yeah.
He's like, what is this? Like how, like we didn't even know. Nobody knows like what that was at that point.
Yeah.
Like, they're just dancing to it. He's like, so what, they made a dance to it? I'm like, yeah, they made a dance to it. Then we just started seeing it. Every person started doing it. And that's when it hit us like, yo, this is different. It was just different because nobody knew TikTok at that point. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody knew that you could virally go with a dance. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was just all the stuff that was happening was new to everybody.
What did that do to your stock and to your career when you had that viral hit on your hands now?
I mean, it shot it up to a point where, like, yeah, I'm a producer, but it made it where, like, a household name producer. So now being on game like Fortnite, and then doing stuff with like Taco Bell and being on every comedy that's on TV right now, referencing it, Netflix referencing it. It's part of pop culture now.
Exactly.
It's part of culture in general. So like that, it's really, as far as like me, it's like lifted me up to where now I'm a producer, but I have an artist credential. So it's like that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I'm with you on that. Now, another one of my favorites, though, is that Get Paid with Dolph, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for us trappers out here.
yeah,
How the hell did that banger come about, and what was it like working with Dolph?
man, it's so crazy. So in Miami, I was working on the beat in the studio. My manager, DJ Feezy, he was like, yo, let me come to the studio. My manager, he was talking to him. He said, all right. Came over. He like, yo, I got that could go for this artist, Young Dolph. And I'm like, I know Young Dolph. I had already worked with Dolph before that on another joint. And he's like, all right. I was like, all right, yeah. He sent it to him. About a month later, I get a DM from Dolph. Like, yo, call me, bro. I'm like, okay. Yo, I called him. He like, yo, I want to get this beat. He like, I'm coming out to Miami. I want to shoot the video. 3 days later, homie did that. He flew out. He gave me the bread, like, yo,
Wham.
yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Put me in the video, everything. He like, we about to go big with this one. He looked at me in the face, said, yo, this is gonna be big.
My
So
God.
I'm like, damn, like this. He was the only artist to ever like do that, embrace me like that, and call me directly and say, yo, we got to do this. Like, he really knew how to handle the business, and he didn't hesitate on anything that he wanted to do. We just did it, and that's why that song did what it did. Is because he didn't hesitate on the fact that he knew it was a hit record.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to come back to that, but I got to ask this question. When he passed, how did that impact you when y'all had just built that working relationship and you knew that it was going to be some more hits happening after that?
Yeah, definitely. And it hit me really hard. Like, I was upset because it's like it's not too many artists that when you gel with a producer gels with an artist, it doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
And we had that where it's like we was creating records and we was creating a sound, that was say, you know, this is Young Dolph.
Yeah.
And it hurt me because that's like, you know, once again, I told you, it's somebody who embraces. It's hard to find, and most of the time, the artists, they about themselves, they about what they want to do. Nah, he was about everybody else around him.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
With the same thing happening to P&B Rock at the same time, what did that do to your mind, man? Because I know me just on this side of the desk when I'm dealing with artists and I see this kind of stuff happen, I get depressed and I want to back up away from the game and just get my mind right. What did that do to you?
Yeah, so it impacted me even crazier because right before that, I was just working with P&B very closely. I had just put out a song with him. We just had a song. I was doing interviews with him and stuff, getting to know his management, his team, and him. And that was within the month before he got hit up. And so I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, yo, we living in like the most dangerous, we play the most dangerous sport in music.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. Like, you know, all this is supposed to do is uplift people and, you know, make people, like, inspire people and stuff. And now it's just, you know, it's turned into all this violence, which is, that's never what music was. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crossing over to a path of no return. Where, like, that's what you can expect. That's what they're going to make you sign, death waivers and stuff now.
My God.
And that's crazy.
That is crazy as hell. For you getting into the artist side of things, though, because, I mean, that visual you shot with K-Camp was crazy as hell when y'all took it back to the 70s in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Break that down to me, too. What is that like for you saying, you know what, let me pivot and get my artistry going on in this thing?
Yeah, and so, like, that is within the inspiration of bringing back to people to dance. You know what I'm saying? And, like, that's where those sounds come from. When me and K-Camp did, like, Lottery, and then we did Ballin' with Rich the Kid. Like, all that sound is, like, getting people back to just having fun, you know what I'm saying? Not thinking about shooting up this person, that person, money, hoes, all that shit. We ain't talking about that. We talking like, yo, get on this dance floor, have fun for a second.
Come on.
Then get back to that, whatever you want to do.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, besides Dolph and K-Camp, who got on a Reazy track and you said, okay, you gave this damn track what it deserved?
Dang, okay. So I gotta give credit to my bro Ace Hood, because at the beginning, like, that's who the first artist that I had a chemistry with. Yeah. And he always, no matter what, knew what to do when I gave him a beat. Shoot, other than that, like French Montana, and new artists now, like I'm working with like Slim Jimmy from Ray Shremmer. Yeah. He always
don't play now.
Nah.
Come on
what
now.
To do. Yeah, he know what to do. But it's really K-Camp is just, that's like the golden child for me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, we know, he be like, Reazy, give me some of that. Do that, and it happens. You know what I'm saying? So,
how many hits do you and K-Camp got in the vault right now that we need to be getting, sir?
Over, like, shoot, I would say over 50, 60. That's how much we work together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'll say, and all these joints hit.
Okay, so now earlier you were talking about just as a producer and dealing with different artists and stuff like that. What is that like when you trying to handle the business side of things and get folks some tracks, but they playing games?
Yeah.
Do you want the track or not, sir?
Yeah, I mean, usually I don't really, the persona I take on is like, you know, we might hit you one more time if you want it or not. And then if you don't, we're not gonna hit you no more. We're gonna go give it to somebody else, and then you gonna hear it on the radio from somebody else.
I mean, who done passed up on the track and had the boo-boo face?
Oh man, a lot of artists have, but they be like, "Damn, you ain't send me that." I be like, "I did send it to you."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I don't want to name names and go back, but I'll tell you like this: it's happened a lot of times with big artists that will call the other big artists like, "Yo, that was my beat," and he like, "Why you ain't buy it?" Type stuff, like, you know what I mean? And that's how I'm working. We not, the train move here. Like,
I feel
you don't take it, I'm sorry.
You're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to your creative process, though, when you get in that studio and it's time to jam, Reazy, how you coming up with these hits, man?
Most of the time, it don't hit me like just like a regular thought or idea, like when you're walking down the street, like, oh, I need to go do this today. Like me, it's like melodies are always in my head. So I got a studio at the house. I got a studio I go to. Yeah. And I just no matter what, 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the morning, wake up right out my sleep and I'll lay it down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, for me, I never stop. All the ideas I have, I put them off. I put them down at least.
Yeah.
I don't let an idea go and say, oh, I'll do that later. Nah, that's really my process. It's just putting down every idea.
Had you been rapping the whole time, or is this just something that you decided to pick up?
I started as an artist. Like,
Okay.
So in college, me and my manager now, we had a record label called P2D, Fresh to Death.
Yeah.
And like I was producing the songs, but I was always also on the songs too.
Yeah.
We had this artist Too Fly, and this is when we knew like, yo, we was meant to do something else because we got our song on the radio, we was performing, we was doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it just producing kind of took that high road at the time because I was just getting so hot from doing that.
Exactly.
But I've always been an artist. I've always been, rapping, singing, whatever it is to make a hit record.
What are your thoughts on the industry, though, man? I mean, coming from being in college, jamming, classically, to being in the middle of hip hop and dead off in the center of this thing and some movements to go along with it. How do you feel about the music industry versus if you just would have went on ahead and just been a classically trained performer out here?
Yeah, I mean, to me, you hear a lot of like mixed reviews about the industry. I feel like you make it what you want it. The music industry is kind of those things that you can mold into your world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put it like this, like, if I don't like something that's not happening, I'm not gonna go crazy and, take a bat to the plaques and do all this stuff like they was doing. No, I just learned how to protect myself with my lawyers. You got to learn the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be going into this game, ignorant. Like, learn what you're doing. Learn where you are. You know what I mean? So that's just my thought. If I don't like something, I maneuver. I don't
feel that.
Linger on it, make a big deal out of it, because we all see what happens when you do that.
It gets crazy.
Yeah.
Now, what were the tracks that you sent out that you didn't think were a hit but came back one?
Dang. I want to say, oh my gosh. I wouldn't say like I sent out a track and say I would say I sent out a beat and I ain't expect them to pick it. Like when I did Run It Up for Dolph.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to pick that beat. I was like, it was just in the folder.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect him to pick that beat. And when he was like, yo, I did this one, I was like, for real? Like, for real? He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I did that one, yeah. So then it came out and it fire too.
As far as other producers in the game, who were the people that you looked up to? And then also after getting in the industry, were you able to reach out to anybody and get in the game from some folks out here?
Yeah,
man?
Definitely. I looked up to Manny Fresh.
Yes,
and
sir.
Like Pharrell and Kanye. Those are like my three hardcore. And I've worked with Pharrell and Kanye, but I haven't worked with Manny Fresh yet. But yeah, I've ran into him a couple times, but I haven't got a chance to be in the lab and say, yo, let's cook up. But learning from them, I remember Kanye, he told me, yo, don't work with anybody who's not as good as you or better than you. He was like, this is not charity. This is the music industry. So then I was like, in my head, I'm like, so you think that I'm just as good as you? He said, I might think you better than me. Ooh. Like, he said that to me. And when he said that, that sparked such a crazy fire in me.
I bet.
That I was like, dang. He told me I could do that. I'm going to do it.
Come on.
Forget that. I'm going to be, but I'm going to do it in my own way. I don't want to be somebody else. I want to be me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really, and then like, the people who inspire you just become people who you got to make records against now.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. So
Pharrell, man. I mean, getting in the studio with that guy.
So that was crazy. So I was in the studio with French, and Pharrell was cooking up, and he's like, and French is like, yo, Renegade, play some beats. So I started playing beats, and Pharrell's like, you got some nice sounds. I was like, in my head, I was like, damn, I was starstruck at that point. I was like, what? Yeah, so he, that that was another inspirational moment, because if I don't feel like he would have commented on anything if he wasn't really messing with it.
Exactly.
So
when you think about just your artistry and your trajectory in the game, what advice do you got for the next producer trying to follow in your footsteps, man?
Consistency. Consistency is key. Like,
Yeah.
for every 100 records you make, beats you make, there's only one.
Yeah.
Put it like that. So guess what that means? You gotta make 100,000 beats. You gotta go in, because that's how you go get them hits.
Yeah.
You gotta think about it. Now, I got 150 placements, major placements. You know what I'm saying? 22 of them are platinum and gold.
My God.
So it's like that ratio of how much I'm producing and how many times that happens. You gotta say I've already made thousands of beats because of that.
Does the first platinum record feel the same as the 22nd though?
The 22nd, at that point, you're like, you ordered the plaque maybe 2 years later. That's how I feel. The first platinum plaque, you like, yo, let me get that plaque. Yeah, I need my plaque. Then you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get it when we can. Yeah.
So how do you keep your mind in the game and keep it exciting for yourself? Because by the time you get to 22, you done obviously beat the damn game.
So I feel like I just pretend like I don't have any. At all.
Okay.
I just keep that same hunger and drive that I had when I first started. I pretend like I don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that same grind. And like, you see, I got the same people around me that I've had from the start.
That's right.
That is a key thing. You have to have people you trust around you, and they keep me hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about having the family rocking with you the long way too, man. I mean, why was that so imperative for you to keep the same people with you the whole way?
Because this game is shiesty, man. These people, you have to have people you trust.
Yeah.
Like, and that comes with time and experience. And there's like, speaking on that, like, that just helps you move. Like, when it's not a question in your back of your head, like, oh, is this gonna happen? And then, now, when you have that longevity with people, you don't have that doubt.
Exactly.
You know what's going to happen, and that helps your maneuver, yeah.
When you speak about that maneuver, and once again, man, I mean, they say that this game is so dangerous, but then once again, do you feel like it's that damn dangerous just because you're successful, or do you think you can maneuver and move around and not have to deal with the same drama that everybody else is dealing with?
I mean, me, personally, I'm going to move, like, very smart I'm not gonna cause too much attention to myself. You know what I'm saying? But if you talking crazy in your shit, you talking crazy in your shit, you talking crazy on your Instagram, you talking crazy all the time, niggas gonna wanna test that.
Yeah.
These niggas don't wanna test that shit. So, that's when you start putting yourself into a way. We never know why these things really happen, but that's when you start putting yourself into like that energy of like, well, maybe something might happen or maybe not. Hopefully it doesn't. We pray to God it doesn't.
Come on.
But, once you start talking my stew and that stuff, I'm about this and that, I rep this, people are like, oh yeah, okay. We just gotta keep ourselves who we are. That sometimes that stuff don't matter.
Exactly. What did your mama say when you made the move from classical to hip hop at that point? And did you feel any friction with that, or how did that go? Because they think we done raised you to be a classical.
No, my parents are clinical scientists. My dad synthesized a lot of the vaccines in the early 80s and 90s.
My God.
And coming from like a medical family, my little brother's a doctor, graduated from Harvard, and it has to be, and then, classical music was a thing, but I only did that to pay for college. So I was supposed to be a dentist. And when I was transitioning out from college, and because I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I didn't know if I was going to continue music or go to dental school. I mean, continue college or continue music or go to dental school. But that's when the Khaled contract came, right at that point. So it was like a life ultimatum, like, all right, if you go this path, you're going to do it. So in my head, I'm like, I could always be a dentist.
Come on now.
You
can do that now.
Yeah. If this don't work, hey, I'll go back to school.
Exactly.
My parents didn't like that. they're like, we spent all this money to put you through school, and you want to go and throw your life away? I'm like, all right, ma, watch this. Then Welcome to My Hood came out. And at first she was like, oh, okay. But then she was still kind of like, that's just one. Like, what's that? Like, and
22 later?
yeah. Then they kept coming. Now she's like, oh, my son, he produced this and he made this song. You know that song? Now she's her too. But that's, I feel like with everybody who has like a strict upbringing, you're gonna have some pushback.
Exactly.
Because this game is not guaranteed. It's not a 9 to 5 where you're getting paid every 2 weeks. You got to make your income to do that. So,
exactly.
I think that they were worried about security. So once they seen like, oh, he secured himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now it's all love,
When the money came in, Reazy, forgive me. When the money came in, was it a case? How were you able to stay motivated once the money came in from all the platinums?
Basically, like my management, and they were just like, hey, look, you're still a young dude. Like, don't hold your money and work as long as you can.
Yeah.
And when you start feeling like you can't no more, you don't want to no more, that's when you start spending your money. So I was like, okay. So we just live. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I do things for myself here and then, but most of the time I'm just pocketing and keep going.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, when you ain't jamming though, man, what are you doing for a reason?
When I'm not working, I'm traveling, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the beach. I live in Miami Beach, so I'm on the beach, I'm chilling.
Come on.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, I play video games and stuff, get my mind off of it, but I ain't really like, music is still fun to me. Yeah. So like, when people say, what am I not doing? Like, making music and finding stuff, that's fun to me. Sometimes I might be like, we might be playing a game, me and my boys, and I'll be like, oh, you heard that song on there? I'm about to go sample that. Hold up, pause. Let me go and do that real quick. Yeah, so
make this money.
Yeah. Come back to the game. But yeah, that's where it is. Like I'm saying, like, maybe catch a cruise or two, something like that. But
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
What is there left for you to do though, Reazy? What is it that you got your eye set on us? I gotta do this for my next goal and accomplishment that's really gonna warm my heart and make me feel like I did something.
Yeah, it's really just do better than I did the time before that. That's always my goal. But like, I wanna do other things. Like, I'm a very technical person. I see myself, I have a lot of inventions that I've thought of that is like, that I want to really bring to life. Also, like, I act. I'm an actor. I want to get into some more shows, more stuff like that, where I can do different paths of entertainment.
That's right.
Sports. With my manager, he want to do sports. It's different stuff like sports management and stuff like that. And I just want to expand Renegade brand, and then my label Hits Only brand to like this like worldwide thing. When you see Tesla, or when you see Renegade, you could put that next to a name like a Tesla.
Exactly.
Or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or a big name like corporately.
When you talk about branding, I mean, you was in there with Kanye. Were you able to ask him anything about just building your own personal brand and how the hell to go about that?
I didn't really ask him that, but I observed. I just observed him and, what he was doing and how he was dressed and how he wanted people to see him. And that made an impact on my branding. Like, Kanye changed at least 2 times throughout the session just because people were taking pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff matters, though.
Yeah.
It matters. And, at that point...
break that down for somebody that don't understand. Why does it matter that this man had to pop a few tags in the middle of a session?
Because content... Well, now we know that content is key. And if he's taking a picture with 2 different outfits, he's posting those pictures 2 different days.
Yeah.
Or he got content forever, or you don't know what he want to do it for. If a magazine has it for that, oh yeah, I just did that over here, so here you go. It's just always thinking of how to build your brand. If you see you're in a place where it'll be good to take a picture, if you are excited to be there, then get some footage of what you're doing. You've seen this documentary that just dropped from the start of his career to the end.
Yeah.
These cameras was rolling all the time. I wasn't in this documentary because he probably has so much footage or whatever, but I was there when a camera was rolling.
Yeah.
And I didn't put it together until this documentary came out of why he was
Rolling.
filming everything. And that, that's why it's important. You see what happened, what came from it.
Exactly. You ain't never lied with that. Now, Reazy, with you having all of this success, man, is there anything that pisses you off about the game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like when, you don't get poured into as much as you pour, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm giving you hits, you should be like, yo, this guy gave me the hits. But now some of these artists are like, they hits, they think they all made it, and without the, the producer, they could have did it without the producer or without the beat. Y'all gotta understand, if there's no beat, half these songs is a cappella and we not listening to that. It's just what it is.
Come on.
We not listening to that. Most of the time these days, we listening to the beat. Let's be real. So I just want, these artists out here to understand that the producer is very important. If anything, they're more important than, somebody on the song. Beethoven ain't need nobody to be rapping on his songs.
Come on.
Or singing or nothing.
Come on. Come on. I'm with you. I'm with you.
So
I'm with you.
We gotta be real. So that's all. That's really the only thing that kind of irritates me is the space between an artist and a producer in fame, not in success, because we're gonna make more money regardless off the song.
Exactly.
But within the fame part, the producer needs to be just as publicized, just as marketed as the artist. So now that's why I have this thing we call him the new age producer, which is the artist.
Come on. Come on.
And that's what I am, basically.
I'm with you on that. So lastly, Reazy, how can these folks contact you? And is there anything that you want your fans to know, man?
Shoot, I just dropped a song. I just dropped a song yesterday. It's called Cakey. It got 3 Black. He out of the DMV, out of DC, and it got Remy Boy Monty, who was on Trap Queen with.
Yeah, I know you talking about. Yeah,
with Fetty Wap. And this song is crazy, so I just dropped that, and just going through the year, I'm gonna be dropping crazy, a lot of records, with a lot of big artists. You can reach me at Reazy Renegade, REAZY Renegade, all platforms.
I can dig it. Reazy, appreciate you coming through this thing, my dog. Wish you nothing but the best and much success.
Yes,
Be High Radio, shout it. Reazy Renegade, holla at y'all in a minute, man. We gone.